Hi guys, so today we're going to make the cane or canes, I'm not sure. A lot of times I'll sit down, I'll start doing something, and then I'll add to my tutorial. So I think I'm going to be doing two different canes, but we'll see. That you saw in the pictures there. And so I'll tell you the colors we need. We're going to need them for anything I create right now. You are going to need your pasta roller if you have one. If you do not have one, you're going to roll it by hand, but you got to kind of pay attention to the thicknesses and make it so that they're about the same, okay? But I'm going to be using a pasta roller and my clay tool, you know, the slicing tool, and that's about it as far as tools, just depending on what you want to do with your cane after you're done. But I am using about half a brick of each of these colors, and you don't need half a brick. Half a brick is actually going to make it quite a bit, but if you want to use a quarter of a brick of each color, that'd be fine too, okay? So this is actually Fimo Soft, and in the color Apple Green, but this is the Sculpey brown one. It's like a different kind of green, but this is also very pretty. It's like a lime green or whatever they want to call it. That's just old and hard, and I didn't want to use that. This is Sculpey 3. I usually don't mix my colors, but like I said, that's the lime green I had, and I'm going to use it up because that's what I have left of it. This is orange. It's just orange. I don't think this is neon orange. I think this is what Sculpey calls orange. A lot of times I buy these kits and they don't have a name on them, but I'm pretty sure this is just orange. This one here is also Sculpey 3, and it is hot pink. And I've already I conditioned them, and then I just kind of made them into flat discs so that when I put it into my pasta roller, it'll go through easier. And this last one is Sculpey 3, and it's just purple. Okay, so what I'm going to do to get started is roll each one of these through my pasta machine, starting with the lightest color, because a lot of times you roll something like purple through, and then you want to come in with green or yellow or white. It's going to be a mess, because a lot of times the purple will still be in the pasta roller. I do clean out my pasta roller in between pushing it through, but a lot of times, I don't know why, underneath some get stuck and they'll end up on your clay. So I'm going to roll them all out on the thickest setting, okay, which on my pasta roller is a 7. Some pasta rollers, 0 is the thickest setting. Just pay attention to your pasta roller, and whatever the thickest setting is, that's what you want to do. So I'll be back when they're all rolled out. Unfortunately, my purple, well, I guess I could keep playing with it, but I wanted it to be as wide as the pink, but it was a lot thinner, but that's okay. So all you're going to do is you're going to have smaller rolls at the beginning. Now, however wide you roll out your roll to begin with is pretty much what you're going to work with, and that's what you're going to continue rolling out to make your jelly roll cane, okay? The middle part, or a swirl cane, whatever you want to call it. The orange and the green I'm going to put aside just for a second. I love the combination this came out with. I did this the other day off camera, and I was like, I have to share it because it came out so cute, so that's pretty much why I'm doing it again. So I'm going to take out my pink, and I have the purple here, and I'm kind of eyeballing the purple. Actually, what I'm going to do is go ahead and cut it nice and straight. And I'll probably do a couple rolls because this is so thin. If it was wider, you can make a wider roll. You'll see what I'm talking about in a second. So I'm just going to cut those two and put this to the side for right now. So I'm going to have 2 rolls to start with because they're thin. If it was wider, I would just do one wider one, but that's okay. So all I'm going to do is move up my pink here and bring like this piece over. For me, I want the purple on the outside, so you are going to make it so that when you go to roll it, the purple's going to be on the outside. I'm just going to kind of eyeball this. And since I have so much of the pink, I can just get rid of quite a bit of that right now. Oh, I'm going to cut this other thing. Put this to the side. And I'm just going to put the purple right down here. And I'm not pushing it down right now. I'm just placing it there just so I can eyeball it. And what you're going to do is cut the pink so that they are exactly the same. Length and width and everything. Usually what I like to do is cut a little bit of the color that's going to be on the inside. I cut it smaller, but I'll do that in just a second. I'm not really pushing down. I don't want to join them yet. I just want that as a gauge. So now you have the purple and the pink stacked, but they are not joined together, okay? So what I'm going to do is kind of pull them apart. I'm going to put my purple down because I want the purple to be on the outside. And the pink one I'm going to cut just a little bit smaller. That's how I like to do it. Some people do it a little bit differently, but that's up to you. So what I like to do is this way, because when you start it and when you end it, you want the purple to be longer than the pink. Okay, so I'm going to I put it so that little pink is kind of in the middle. There's some lip here. There's a little bit of a lip here, but this one is where we're going to start. And now what we're going to do is roll it up. So whatever color you want on the outside of your roll, you're going to place on the bottom of the roll at this point, okay? So we're just gonna start kind of picking it up and rolling it over. You're gonna start swirling it. And as I'm doing that, I'm trying to keep it tight, okay? Because this is gonna be the very center. So the very center, you want it, obviously, a little bit tighter. And then I'm gonna start rolling towards the end. Trying to keep it in there. And it is rather small, but once you start rolling, 'cause it's going to be kind of chubby at the end of this, when you start rolling it out, it's going to get much longer, obviously. And I'm just kind of trying to smooth that out. And when you get towards the end, you're going to bring that purple or whatever color is that you want at the base, you're going to bring that up and around the inside color. So as I'm ending it, I'm kind of pushing that pink back in, but trying to bring the purple up over it, okay? So that the purple meets purple. And that's why I cut mine a little bit smaller. Some people just keep them the same length and then work with it, but I think it's easier if you start off with a piece that's a bit smaller on the other side. That last piece of pink does not want to play with me, but what you can do is grab another little piece of purple and just help it out. So I'm just going to take a little tiny section of purple and add it here. It's a cane. What's going to happen is when you start rolling it, you won't even notice that anymore. That little imperfection that I added there at the end. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of stretch it a little bit with my hands. And as you can see, it's already pretty chubby. And as we continue to roll it, it is going to be a lot different. Okay, so I'm just going to roll it. And this one you can just roll. It's not a big deal. There's only 2 layers. You're pretty much just trying to adhere the layers together. I'm kind of pushing from the center out. That'll help smooth out any air bubbles and things. And just roll it to as thick as you would like. Not too thin yet, because we're going to put an outer layer on this with those little, with the orange and the purple. I mean, orange and green, sorry. So I think that's good for right now. It's still kind of chubby, and we'll be able to roll it. If you do want it a lot thinner and you don't want to distort your orange and green outer layer too much, then you want to go ahead and roll it out just a little bit more. But I like to do mine like this. That way it's still a little bit chubby. It's probably, I don't know, maybe 1/2 inch wide, if that much. And then I'm going to cut off the ends. And if you see on the inside, they're already swirled and super cute. Okay, but that's just really quickly. That's not even getting to it. But there, and you can use this cane just by itself, a little swirl cane. Just keep rolling it to the size that you want, or thickness. Okay, so what I'm going to do is bring over the orange and the green. And here's my green. You're pretty much going to do the same thing that you did with the pink and the purple. You're going to layer them up so that they're about the same width and all that good stuff. So since my orange is thinner than my green, I'm going to start with that one. I'm going to trim it down so that it has nice straight sides. And as you can see, it's not super conditioned, because if it was very well conditioned, it wouldn't have these little edges. Well, sometimes you still have rough edges. It's pretty soft, so that's why I was kind of like, I wonder why it still had those rough edges, but that's okay. And with this one, I'm going to make it just as long as I want, because I think I'm going to have some extra to just make a square cane that you guys can check out. So I'm going to cut it as long as I can, that orange one. That keeps it kind of uniform. As you can see, there it is. And I'm telling you, it doesn't matter. Like, sizes don't matter. Right now I can tell you this is probably 1.5 inches by 3 or so. And I'm going to go ahead and place that on top of my green. And some people will do this with a black and white border, which is really cute, but I just love the way all these colors came together the other day. And so I already have a cane that's like this, and I needed some more for a different project. So I'm going to go ahead and just make more and share it with you guys. This one, all we're going to do is cut into it and then layer it up. It's pretty cool. So that's it. I cut away all the excess. And you don't want to bend this too much. You don't want to squeeze it in any way, because then it's going to start warping. But as you see, I have a nice thick orange and a nice thick green, okay? So this is what I did the other day, and I guess this is where you can measure if you want, but I'm going to just eyeball this and just give it a cut. Let me think here. Maybe there. And then I'm going to take that. I'm not really trying to push on it too much. And I'm going to layer that right over this orange area. Kind of smooth it out. Give it another cut so they're about the same. And then I have one more piece to layer over. And if you still want to do this however many times, however thick you want, it doesn't matter. And I found that 6 high was actually pretty good for me, so that will work right now too. Again, trying to layer it up, kind of press it a little bit so it becomes one, and then cut off that little extra in the back. And that little extra piece in the back, you want to hold on to it, because maybe there's a part where you come to where you're going to need just an orange and just a green stripe. So I will hold on to this. I'll put it to the side for right now. Okay. So here is our little block. I'm just trying to make it one, so I'm kind of pushing it together, but not enough to warp it, okay? I want to keep it kind of with that whole straight edge look to it. Okay, so I'm going to bring back my little guy. As you can see, this one's a little bit longer than the width or length of this guy, so you could make it so that they correspond to each other, but I didn't. So what I'm going to do for right now is just, I'm going to make this a little bit longer, and I'm going to cut that extra piece off. You don't have to, you can leave it and just work with it, but I'm going to go ahead and cut it off for right now. And then you can still use this. I can still continue rolling this just carefully, and it'll have more of a cane, a little swirly cane, okay? So now that we have this, I'm gonna put this to the side. And what I'm gonna do is cut sections of this enough to wrap around the cane. Now, this is up to you how thick you want this. It depends on the end product, how much of that border you want to show. So I cut mine so they're about, I would say, 1/16 of an inch. Okay, I'm just gonna slice straight down. And now I have this cool slice of color. And I'm gonna do the same thing. Again, usually you need at least 3, maybe even 4 of these slices to go around your cane. So, I'm gonna bring this guy back. Bring our little stripe dude back. And it might want to fall apart on you because, you know, like I said, I don't squeeze it too hard, but it'll be fine. Don't even worry about it. Just slick it down so it fits nicely on your cane. And then now that we have that, I need the next slice. And you're going to start with the green because the last slice I have here was orange. I'm going to put the green down. And just make sure that's nice and adhered. And like I said, these spaces here will close up, so don't even worry about it, but you can kind of give them a push and a little tug there. Get them a little bit closer together. I'll get my next slice. Ooh. And again, butting up the green with the orange. And as you can see, I'm going to need like another little segment. And it's not going to be enough to be a whole other 6-row segment. Look how cute that is already. I love it. Okay, so I'm going to put that down right here. And I probably need, let me think here. This is 2. I need 4 more pieces. So I'm going to keep this to the side anyway. And I'm going to come over here to this guy. I'm going to cut it. And like I said, I think I need 4 more pieces. So I'm going to put this to the side. I'm going to lay this flat. And I'm going to, I need green, orange, green, orange. I'm going to cut it off so that this last 2 pieces I can use for something else. And I'm going to bring my little extra piece that starts with green because we buttered up with the orange. And then it's going to end with orange that meets up with the other green side. And it always ends up working out because this is clay. Look, I still have like a little bit of a gap, but don't even worry about it. Just press it down, bring that other piece towards it, and kind of smooth it out, okay? So now you see you have your little design. It has some spaces. We're going to continue working with those to keep them closer together. And now all you're going to do is roll it as much as you want. So let's say you wanted your design to be about this thick, then you don't have to do a lot of rolling. You just want to roll it enough to make it one. But if you want to roll it out so that it's a lot thinner, then that's up to you. Again, I'm just kind of rolling it this time in one direction because I kind of want to keep it the same. And I'm kind of tugging at it, rolling it. And then you can just continue rolling to the thickness that you want. I'm going to leave it about this thick because I'm not real sure what I want to do with this yet. But if you want to make it a lot thinner, you just keep rolling and it'll make a snake. It'll even look twisty, and it doesn't even matter because when you cut into it, that little orange and green is always going to be next to each other. So even if it looks swirly on the outside, don't even worry about it. It's going to be just fine. So let me just roll a little bit more just to show you. And then I'm going to cut the edges off so you can see how it looks a little bit better. So I'm just going to cut a little bit of the edges off. So cute. And don't throw these little scraps away, guys. I'm telling you, you can use it for something else. Look how cute. Obviously, they're not round because I squeezed them, but I love it. I love the color combination. I think it's so much fun. And there's your cane. And you can put this away for another day. Put it in, like I said, a Ziploc or a plastic container where they're not going to get damaged or bumped. And you're going to be good to go. So there's one cane. I don't know what you want to call it. It's like a jelly roll. I don't know, outline jelly roll cane. I don't know what it's called. But I want to show you what you can do with the extra, this little guy. So this is our extra piece. And of course, you guys know I had that extra pink and purple left over from earlier that I can make another jelly roll with, and then do this again. But I want to show you is how you can make a cane that is checkered, okay? So what we're going to do is take this guy, and I'm just going to cut it up, I don't know, maybe 5 pieces because of the thickness of this. So again, about 1/8 of an inch. Take that off. And then go again. So I'm going to slice this up into 5. Okay, so here are my sections. 5 pieces. This last one's kind of... Okay. So I'm going to lay this last piece down. Doesn't matter where you start. And you're going to take the next piece. Now they were cut like this. As you can see, there's orange, green, and then orange, green. Okay, so what I'm going to do is flip this one so that the green is on top, then orange, green, orange. And so now they're not exactly the same anymore. They're off by 1 color, right? And you kind of want to line it up so it's nice and straight. And as you can see, you're already getting that checkerboard design, okay? So I'm trying to make it nice and straight as I can, just so that when we do finish it, the design is pretty clear. So in the next layer, that starts with green on top, I'm going to flip this so that the orange is on top. And try to line it up nicely. They should be about the same anyway, because you just cut them. All you did was cut straight down, so they should be pretty much ready to be done to do this with, okay? So the next layer, again, orange on top, so now I'm gonna put the green on top. And I think that's actually pretty good. I cut 5 slices, but I think a checkerboard pattern of 4 is actually really nice looking, as you can see there. I think that's good. It makes a nice square, and I didn't even... This is what I'm telling you, with clay, I don't know why, but it just seems to work out. Like, I didn't not time it, but like measure it and think, oh, this is what I want to do. But it looks good here, so I'm gonna leave it here. This piece I can use again to wrap around a cane or whatever, just put it to the side, use it for something else. So what I'm gonna do with these guys is just kind of make sure that they are stuck together. So I'm gonna turn it on each side, kind of pushing it, smoothing it out, turn it over again, do the same thing. That way they're about the same. You're not distorting it at all, okay? So I'm kind of pulling on it, stretching it out, making sure they're all one piece. And now you have this cool thing that you can either put on a pen, you can make beads with, and with beads all you're gonna do is cut a section, put a hole through it, wherever you think that you want to actually put it on an item, and that's it. So let me just pat that, and now you have these edges that are kind of rough. Of course you're gonna cut those off. So now you have this nice square cane, and you can use whatever tools you need to straighten that up. I'm gonna cut this edge off. Look at that. Awesome! And if you do want to reduce this, you're just gonna keep manipulating it, kind of pulling it longer, turn it, pull it longer, turn it, make sure it's nice and straight, and just continue working with it that way. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna keep it just like this because I do like this really cute weave kind of checkerboard pattern, and hopefully you guys like that. And again, I would just take these, put it on a pen, put it on a little vase, a glass item, whatever you want to decorate with these guys, you can definitely do that. If you're gonna make a bead, I would cut it maybe 1/4 inch thick, put a hole in it the way you would like to put a hole in it, and there you go. And then you're gonna bake it, okay? So I didn't bake these because I'm not using them yet. But if you're gonna use this for something, you're gonna slice it up first, then bake it, and I would bake it at the manufacturer's recommended settings. And hopefully you guys liked this quick tutorial on these 2 different styles of cane. I'll see you at the next one. Bye now.